Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Pretty happy to be at this point because we only have one more scenario, and then we can start have a fresh start with a new career mode. I just want to check out what the Station 1 scenario is. Space Station 1 is a small refueling outpost in low orbit where ships can fill up before leaving the interplanetary missions. Okay, so let's see at what point this scenario starts us at. Uh, it makes sense to have a refueling station in low orbit. It makes sense to have like a space station like this. I don't know if we're really supposed to do anything here. So let's see. We can see that we have no air intake, obviously, and we're a little low on fuel. So that's the Clampatron, which is an inline Clampatron that's just connecting us to the station. We have some lander cans. Let's see, RCS fuel tanks for rocket control systems to keep it in. Here's a fuel tank. Here's some fuel tanks. Getting something like this up into space would take probably some effort. I imagine if this was done legitimately, which it almost certainly wasn't, it would have been done in a couple of missions. Notice there's a rocket here. The Poodle. Notice there's a rocket here. It could have been several other things. But what I'm trying to do, I suppose, is get this plane refueled. Landing gear, that air intake. Which one is the one that's missing the liquid fuel and the monopropellant? Is the question. This has got liquid fuel, this has got liquid fuel, this has got liquid fuel, this has liquid fuel. So what is missing the liquid fuel? This is a plane, so it is an interesting turn it on and off. A plane like this is probably a good way of refilling this. So how could I transfer? We've got some more guys here too. Even though it's only showing me 3, there's 4. Let's see what in-vehicle looks like. This guy's inside. Can I remember how to do this? I don't think you can do this. I don't think you can move fuel through. Let's see, if I choose this and then shift to that. Nope, no. Oh. That was no good. dock import, clampage. Is there anything we're supposed to be doing here? So let's turn on the RCS and the RC. Let's just enable that to begin with and get everything back to the way it should be. Actually, probably should turn that off and keep it from wobbling itself apart. So here's your hitchhiker guy. Here's your this. You've got some docks here. But I don't see anything here that would allow me to, like, disable crossfeed. If I disable crossfeed and enable crossfeed, how do you do crossfeed though? We have this thing. This is what I want to fill up. And I just don't have an idea. Let's see, let's go to the settings and see if we can find the key. Find it. Nope, not in this settings at least. This is cool. Having this in the space is cool. But my ignorance is bliss here. Or at least it's bountiful. Let's see. So I am now trying to Google the answer on what key I know it requires bringing up two things. Holding the mod key. What is the mod key? Says hold the mod key. Click on that, figure out what the mod key is. In Windows it's Alt. Okay, fine. I'm an idiot. And I didn't know. I'll admit it. Here we go. So we have the crossfeed now holding down the Alt. Let's get rid of this and zoom in a little bit. So I just want this to go in and in. And the reason I want to do that is because pretty much I'm just going to use a small amount of fuel to land this ship. I have to assume that this liquid fuel rocket is the one that, so I'm just gonna fill this up some more. try and balance it out. Let's see, when we have this tank, and this tank, and this tank. And so we would typically want these balanced out. And then this one. Let's see. Let's right click here. This one and this one. Menus in the way. Alright. This one and this one. In and in. And so what I'm doing is I'm filling this tank up completely, this one, and these two are empty, which is fine, or should at least be fine. Probably could put some more liquid fuel somewhere if I could find any more tanks up here. So this is a refueling mission, or at least I'm assuming it's a refueling mission. And I think there's some people in here in these hitchhiker storage things. Let's see. Crew. This can only hold a few people. So I don't even know. How would you be able to tell? I guess it's the picture behind him. In vehicle. Yeah, how would I be able to tell if I'm where I am or what I'm doing? Let's see. They gave us no real instructions. I'm ready to decouple, undock, and as I've undocked, seems like every single person except for maybe one was in that is at some point in here. So I was controlling the, I'm going to switch to the Ares 4A, and there's nobody in the Ares 4A. Oh, that's useless. Oh, if you click left click, you could have seen them. So there's Jebediah. So Space Station 1. We're gonna take Jebediah on an EVA. And then let go. Get our rocket and work our way down. I'm really far away. Up, no, back. No, bit to the right. A little bit forward. Having the mouse right in the way. Bored. So as Jebediah is in the space plane. The space plane has refueled. Close the docking port. Let's go in vehicle. So this is the perspective I should have been looking for. I do not believe, however, that there's any more room. Module crew 1 of 1. Let's see. So I can't take anybody back with me. Yeah, I guess they don't want to go anyways. Right. So I want to turn on this go retrograde and hopefully not collide into anything. Also, I don't want to particularly flare up my engine and burn the solar flares or something like that. So I'm just going to use the things here to try and go for it. Why is it's wasting a lot of monopropellant to maintain things. Turn off the SAS and just try and use the monopropellant to go forward. Here we go. Just slowly, so that H key does work to get us away from the station so we don't crash or burn it. And then we're gonna try and land this sucker. And we'll see how well that works. Now, am I gonna try to land on the runway in the Kerbal space station? No way. Will I get that lucky? Retrograde, RCS off, and fire up. Well, I'm firing up. Let's activate engine. I just want to degrade my orbit to the point where we can get into the atmosphere. This isn't as much air braking as this is just going to be that should be enough. It's not as much air braking as this is just gliding down. So let's fast forward until we can get to the atmosphere. Well, let's center ourselves prograde. No, come on. Center ourselves prograde so we can... Really? SAS, whatever. I guess I need a little RCS and enabled tier 2. Let's see. I want to just face down the way I'm supposed to be facing. Always, I probably just want to be here in the normal. What would that point me? Anti-normal? Interesting. Trying different things as I land. It's often the problem if you put these things the wrong direction that you're going to mess up. I think I just want prograde. Oh, I could have transferred him? What can I transfer him to? What module can I transfer him to? Oh man, that's a whole new system I am not aware of. I have not been paying enough attention. Like the pitch, the yaw, everything here is really messed up. Control from here. Toggle torque. Inline stabilizer. Not enough electricity for it to actually work. We're falling. Try and get this the right direction. We are falling. And then I'll start powering up. We want some progress here. Let's see. Turn on that RCS. Just put this on stability assistance. Trying to slow down is what we're trying to do here. Coming to a nice even glide. It's nice that they gave us a space plane. Alright, so I'm going too fast now because I was increasing speed. We're getting to the point where it would probably be smarter to activate the other things, but I will go ahead and just wait since this is about probably going to run out of fuel. We don't have the wheels deployed yet or anything like that. I guess as we're getting lower we might consider doing that. Now, one thing you definitely don't want to do is have your brakes on with the gears, because then they'll just break. You'll break the brakes. This is normally how you would want to explore. Let's get that off. The lovely Kerbal. I don't know if you could ever really get a space plane towards any of the other planets that have atmospheres to the point where that might be a consideration. Most of the time, I don't think it would work. But this mission started about halfway through, in my opinion, because we started already docked to the fuel station and we're coming back down. We could have gone the other direction with it and assumed the space plane was designed to go to another planet with atmosphere, but it just doesn't have enough. It doesn't have enough fuel for that to really make any sense. You wouldn't make it to any other planets. So we have gravity pulling us down. We have ourselves slowing down. Let's lower our gears. We have no parachutes. Notice that. Coming in, ready for a landing. No parachutes. No other way of slowing down. at all. People do this all the time. They fly planes up into the air and land it, so it should be pretty easy. But 14,000 meters. I don't know how high most planes get. Probably not 14,000 meters, but maybe. Now I want to keep a negative vertical velocity because I am landing. So I might be going a little too fast if I do that. So that was the end of that fuel. I'm just gonna hit spacebar for the others. So we've activated our in-atmosphere jets now. Trying to slow ourselves down. Now, of course, if we get to just 0, we're gonna drop like a rock, or at most glide with the wings. That's not what we want. It's not our goal. We may actually run out of fuel. There's the liquid fuel here, so I don't know why this engine couldn't get the fuel. Maybe it ran out of oxidizer. Yep, I'm out of oxidizer. I was using it all up on this and I didn't realize it. So, it's a rare occasion when you run out of oxidizer. We're also running low on electricity. Air intake we wanted to go up too, but that's fine. I'm staying just at the horizon level as we come down ever so slowly. I probably could have done this if I was a better pilot a lot faster. In fact, let's aim down a little bit. We're gonna run out of fuel if we don't. Let's see. It's making a sound, but all the things are off. That's interesting. Coming down, but only increasing speed a little bit. Actually, I'm losing speed. Interesting. Watch the altitude, and we'll have to pull back when we're ready to land. This is a nice grassland area. Not a terribly dangerous place to land. What is making all the air sounds? I don't know. It could be just the actual air around me. I would have thought that would have been one of the engines or something. I'm getting very slow. I'm afraid I am gonna just start dropping like a rock. Very, very slow. The last few thousand meters here may just be straight vertical drop. Jebediah Kerman is having the time of his life, which is always cool. The engines are off. Remember that. We are gliding. put most of our fuel and oxidizer back in the space station for other people's to use. Because you can easily use most, half, or all of your fuel just getting to a refuel station in low orbit. I'm less than 30 meters per second. This is just wild. I didn't realize you could do this. Am I gonna stick to landing is the question. We've got 6,000 meters. Let's speed up a little bit. I mean, it's like I am hovering. $4,000. I'm getting slower and slower. How high do I want to be? One way you can do this is you can look for your shadow. If it shows a shadow. I'm not seeing a shadow yet. So that doesn't help. Let's get down to 2,000 meters. This is working. Is this the shadow? Right here, this tiny black dot? I think it is. It looks like everything's just gonna work. Less than 34,000 meters. If this crashes the plane, I'd be very surprised. We're at 700. Let's see. Wow. Well, I'm very surprised. I'm rather surprised by that. We were only at 34 meters. You really gotta get it down. And we are 516 meters from where we were. From the center of the planet. So just waiting till you get to exactly 0 doesn't help. Uneven terrain. Well, that wasn't quite completely successful. However, Jebediah Kerman is still alive. We can recover some of the vessel, and we can succeed. If he had science, we would have gotten that science. We got one guy back on the planet. It's a success in my book. And that is great. I kind of like that scenario exists because of all the scenarios that you have, asteroid redirecting, which I'm not even gonna touch because it was impossible to do in the training ones. It'll be impossible to do in the scenario ones. You have the EVA, which is something you'll just almost certainly do in the regular game. Impending impact, almost certainly gonna have to deal with in the real game. Moon orbit, yeah, you're probably gonna have to deal with it or something like it. But Station 1, in particular, is something that you should do, but a lot of players who aren't experts at Kerbal Space Program probably won't do. And it was definitely fun to get a space plane and try and land it, and I'll definitely have to work on that. Usually I would put a parachutes on space planes too, and use that to slow me down a little bit more. And so that's great. That is training, that is scenarios. We can have a new start next episode. We're going to start the career mode, and hopefully it's going to be awesome. I'm going to show you how I play this game and probably the right way to play this. I would say just don't bother to do the training or the scenarios at all. Right now, they are not adding much of anything. Uh, Maybe you could make the argument that construction basics and flight basics is getting to the point where it's explaining something. But they dropped the ball after at orbiting 101, and they don't explain anything on science basics. And that's 4 of the 5 or so different different gameplay styles in the game. So maybe you do those trainings, but maybe you just play in Sandbox too. I would highly recommend everybody play in Sandbox. Um, Maybe even move up to Science mode, because Science mode is almost like Career, except for Career also has the aspects of funds and reputation, where Science is just Science. Uh, Difficulty options: easy, indestructible facilities and allow stock vessels. The re-entry heating is at 50%, the resource abundance is at 120, and the science rewards are doubled. Normal, everything is at 100. And you have destructible facilities and you allow stock vessels. I guess destructible facilities means that you could crash into your buildings and maybe have to pay something to fix them. Moderate lowers those percentages, and the missing crews don't respawn. Hard, allow reverting flights, not allowed. Allow quick loading, not allowed. Who would play on hard? That is not hard, that is hardcore. No quick loading at all. Yeah, no, no, no. I think we'll play it on normal because it doesn't seem like anything is done. But might I suggest for new players, if you just want to jump into this, turn these dials up. Science reward 1000%. Heating re-entry 0%. Resource abundance that at 120. Allow indestructible. Allow this auto hire crew before flight. Why not? All of that. Make it super easy on yourself. That should be very easy right there, man. Just no reheating, re-entry heating. Lots of science. Lots of money. That would probably be how you want to do it. And we get to pick a flag, and we'll do that next episode. We'll probably just pick one random one. So, yeah, next episode, a fresh start, and we're going to start having some more fun with this game. It has been too frustrating to start off with. Too weird, too crashy by far. Maybe all the bugs are just in scenarios and training, and maybe everything will work perfectly after that. I doubt it, but whatever. Anyways, that's the end of this episode, so I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me with YouTube. If you want to support me, there's 2 ways. One is clicking on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Or you can click on the Amazon.com affiliate link in the description and just shop normally. If you want to follow or friend me on practically any social media site, that information is down below also. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.